welcome back. This message will not be for everyone, but you'll know if it's for you. Only take what actually resonates, leave the rest for someone else. Please use these insights responsibly. Don't get a big head about you, but we're gonna give you the tea on what's being said about you. I feel like it's good stuff. It's good stuff. You are someone who is very, very admired. So we're gonna get into this. I'm not going to be paying attention to the comment section, the chat, the live chat. So feel free to chat amongst yourselves. Ignore any trolls and any inappropriate behavior. I will have mods in here and there, which will take care of that. But if I don't have mods at the time, just please ignore it, starve them of your energy, and they will leave. Flood the comments with positive energy, with your energy. The more you like, comment, subscribe, for free. It's a completely free way to support the channel. The more you do, the more you put your energy into this channel, the more I will pour. The more I'll pull from your personal energies. If you would like a personalized reading, though, you can email me. All my links are going to be in the description box below. And I work off sliding scale, so I will work with you on payment where you're at. Alright, let's get in. And you drop in. I'm going to be scrying at the same time. Custodes. Presidium. Luxmeia. Adesso. Veritate ne profundo cere. Clari, mihi uste. So the first thing that comes through is you're natural. You're a natural. Like you're very naturally empathetic. You're natural at what you do. You're very genuine. This comes across cleanly. This is like people's first impression of you. You might have a very natural look to you as well. You don't need, like, you're effortless in how you appear and how you move through life. Welcome in, you guys. You're very effortless and natural. A natural beauty, so you can be very beautiful or handsome, however you resonate, but you're naturally attractive in that way. It's very genuine how you come off, how you present. You're someone who's in tune with life, in tune with other people around you. But it feels like subtle. It feels like a very subtle way. You possess this sort of quiet confidence to you. This is how you'll know it's your reading, okay? If it's not your reading, feel free to enjoy it as entertainment or educational purposes as you are continuing to grow into yourself. But who I'm speaking to, if you're resonating with this message, you're very, very natural. The way you come off, very genuine and effortless. Excuse me. I mean, people have a lot to say about you. You also might kind of stop a lot of people in their tracks. You turn heads. Sometimes people don't know what to say about you. You might come up as a bit detached at times, but then you're very warm. You're very warm and natural in the way that you do connect and communicate, and then you're natural in the way that you detach as well, and you just move fluidly. People feel a strong resonance with you and your energy. They also feel something deeper with you. That it feels very unknown, but like they wanna play in your waters. Is the vibe of that. They want to get to know you. We have rainbow fluorite and labradorite. You're someone who's very, very transformational. Again, very fluid in the way you move. Hello, hello. Very fluid. You're a powerhouse energy, but in a soft, subtle way, which might be a bit confusing to some. You have a very abundant energy to you, and you have this ability to transform in a way that inspires people to transform as well. This might rub some people the wrong way, but even the people who get a bit uncomfortable in your presence for whatever reasons, I think over time they realize that that is their own stuff, and your detachment from that energy is what allows them to transform themselves. And so they eventually, even if frustrated in a moment, eventually they come to find a deep sense of peace with their experiences with you, and how you've helped them to transform. I feel like in a way you set a lot of people free within themselves, whether they're connecting with you regularly or not. It's just the effect of your presence, your existence. And with the rainbow flight here, I feel like you have a very grounded energy. Like you're deeply rooted. I'm getting like Earth Star chakra rooted. Like you're very in tune, again, in tune with the Earth resonance. I also feel you're a very creative individual. You live life in full, and you're very impactful. You have a very potent energy, even though you're soft. You might be more quiet or to yourself a lot of the time, but you connect with people so effortlessly, so easily. You make people feel very cared for. You have a very warm presence to you. Very, very deeply grounded energy, a serenity to you. Like your aura is filled with serenity, and people feel this around you. But sometimes your depth can scare people, but it's really more of a matter of them meeting their own depth in a new way, and it takes them time to be able to appreciate that. But it's through transformation that they get there. You, I feel like, are very prolific in what you're able to create with your life, and you live life in full spectrum, embodying your best self and whoever you need to be, whoever you want to be for yourself. You're not swayed easily. You're like I'm seeing like a big oak tree with like roots deeply deeply spread into the ground, very deep. And so you're able to grow endlessly, and you produce. No, oak trees don't produce fruit, but like you're very fruitful. You're very fruitful and prolific is the essence of you. Certain individuals might get a bit of a headache with you. It's just like tension. There's tension, but it's not necessarily because of you. Again, this is like their tension. It's like almost like you embody like vast void space. It brings a sense of deep peace, but it's also terrifying in a way that it's like what's there is like the mystery to it. What's there and what's it gonna bring? What's it gonna bring next? I feel you're a very strong individual. You empower a lot, you inspire a lot of people, but I feel like you also expand people's minds. Like part of the frustration is you might say things at times when you do speak. You say, or you speak because you have something to say. You're not someone who's just talking all the time. So you're not really someone who's involved in the gossip. You might not even be aware of it. You stay more into your own lane, very true to yourself, which is why you come off so genuine and natural. There might be a bit of frustration with that, but also the things that you say, and you might speak a bit more directly. And again, you speak when you have something to say. You say what you mean, and you mean what you say. There is respect in that, but there's also an energy of when you say certain things, it can rub people the wrong way at times, but it in the end will expand their mind to where they think in new directions, although that can be a frustrating process to get around themselves, their own beliefs or things like this. But to see things in a way that you see things, and it might take people a little bit of time to get there sometimes, to understand your perspectives. but with enough time and space, they do get there. You're someone who's not swayed by these reactions in people, though, these disturbances in others, because you stay so in your own lane. So some people might consider you a bit like rough around the edges, but I don't think that's because you're just so strong in your own energy, and you might be willing to tell people to fuck off when necessary as well, because you're not going to let your peace be disturbed by anyone. You're actually quite charming. Yeah, Europeans are dope. I actually really love Europe. I've only been to like France and Monaco, but I'd love to explore Europe more. I'm European myself. I'm just born in the US. Three of Cups, Knight of Emotions. Again, you're very warm and charming and friendly, but this is natural, effortless in the way that you connect with people. You're also very emotionally deep, and people connect to this well. They do, but it also, again, will scare some people, or maybe some people have a hard time being around it for too long. Because they haven't explored their own depths fully yet. So they like to be around it. They like to entertain certain things and get to experience you because you bring new experiences. There's a sense of adventure to you when people connect to you. They feel like they're going on an adventure into a new world, or you take them deeper into their minds, into their hearts. You open people's hearts and minds, and people like this about you. People want to connect with you. People want to work with you. People might want to work with you in a creative capacity as well, collaborate with you. It also kind of feels like it's hard to get in with you in some ways, or they're just not sure. It could just be their own fears that they're not sure how to work past. But you do tend to break people out of ego and get people kind of surrendering certain aspects of their mentality to think in new directions. And this takes time sometimes, but with the space that you provide, it's spacious, again, it's kind of like embodiment of empty void space, which allows for anything to be possible. So it's infinite void space that you kind of represent here. And that is a space that is highly transformative because there is no ego attachment there. There's nothing to hang on to, nothing to grab onto, so people don't know how to get a hold of you, but they're not meant to either. It's like you cross paths with people in the right time, but then there's space. So people might want to connect with you more than you allow, or more than the energy allows, but I think it's probably easier and better for people to take you in small doses and vice versa, so that energy can remain clean and pure, because when people's stuff rises up due to this empty void space making anything possible, that space allows for them to work out whatever that is without projecting it onto you and hurting you with it. So it allows for growth in both directions. It allows for safety in both directions. But you do bring out this kind of tension at times. So you bring out this tension at times, but that is where transformation happens. It happens because of the tension that empty void space brings, the discomfort, and then that spaciousness, the space to allow them to work through that in themselves. And if they want to go deeper, they can keep interacting with you, or if they find that was enough and their experience with you or experiences with you just help them grow, I feel they do end up very appreciative of whatever time they did spend with you. And you got this Empress energy here, which is very open-hearted and very expansive, and you really do take people on a wild journey through the depths. And so every experience with you is new, And it is, again, it's very subtle in a way. It feels almost like too simplistic sometimes, so people might even devalue what you have to offer. Maybe certain things you say are very simple but still very profound. Personally, I think the most profound things are the most simple things that returns back home to ourselves, you know. But so people might devalue things that you say in a moment, but then appreciate them much later on. Or it might not click right away and it takes time, but you plant seeds that allows people's inner worlds to open up. People don't always know how to meet you, but they understand over time, and it's always over time with space between, that people start to understand the value that you bring. And again, it might be because it feels so simple immediately that gets misunderstood. But over time, what arises in them that allows them to grow, they do see the value, and I feel like it's with that space. You might be someone that moves quite slowly through life, or appears to. People might even think you're slow, but you're not. You're not. You're very spacious. You're very wise, deeply wise, and very generous. Very generous. So people might also like get a bit of frustration sometimes because they want to keep. You pour into people. You have this warmth to you, but you have to be detached, I think, for that reason, so that you're not overgiving. People are not taking advantage of your good nature and what you have to offer. I think you actually move a lot faster through life progress faster through life than you realize. But you take your time in whatever it is that you do, in your communication as well, because one's is going to be work or social aspects. You take your time in building connections, but depth is important to you. So you do take people a lot deeper than they might normally go with most connections. So it might feel fast to others, but to you, it's the showing up consistently over time and not like being around people constantly, but slowly building relationship. You're gonna bring the depth every goddamn time, so it feels like strong and potent to a lot of people, and like things are moving a lot faster. But for you, that's just who you are. You just have this depth to you, and you are always going to bring that depth, but you also need time and space to yourself to maintain your interest in the positive energy, to have your own time to create whatever you're creating with that like kind of prolific vibe you have. You need that spaciousness. You have this, you embody infinite void space, which allows anything to be possible in your life. People are extremely attracted to that, but then also at the same time don't know what to do with it. But it expands them. And this is you actually moving slowly. So again, you always bring the depth in every interaction, but then there's that space, and people don't understand the way you move all the time because they move differently. Maybe with other people, their conversations aren't quite the same depth, or it's just different types of conversations that they might be used to, where you do take them on a wild journey every time they connect with you, or take them deeper into themselves, and they really appreciate that about you. They like that about you, but then it's also very different from the typical experience, and that can be quite scary at times, because it can feel like it moves too fast. But then there's that confusion of when you pull away, you detach to go into your own energy. Why isn't the connection moving at the normal rate that they would experience, you know, where it's a bit more surface level, then slowly over time you go more deep. But I feel like you're not really one to have surface level conversations. Again, you don't really speak just to speak. You are going to be someone who, like, you're warm and compassionate. You might be more of a listener than a speaker, but you speak when you have something to say. You say what you mean what you say. I feel like you are someone who's escaped the typical the typical like 9 to 5 or the typical workflow, and people know that about you. I feel like people see you as very, very capable and able to do a lot. But also they see that because you have this spaciousness to you, and you move differently, you move slower. They might not understand how you are able to get so much done, but then also have time out, time to rest, time to be this Empress energy is going to be slower, more receptive, feminine energy, and it doesn't matter whether you're male or female, but you have time and space to enjoy life in between your work, but you produce a lot, but you take time out for yourself at the same time to nurture yourself because you understand the importance of that. That is like the very reason why you're so abundant in your energy and why you're able to stay so warm, compassionate, and charming around people. It's because you don't let other people muddy up your energy or project onto you. You allow them the time and space to work through their stuff. They don't understand that, but in time, they will get it. In time, they get it. But you don't tolerate people treating you a certain way, people behaving a certain way, because you will not. You're intuitive. You intuit when people are feeling certain types of way or projecting things, even if it's not said out loud. You can feel it under the surface. You are attuned to the subtle energies. You're attuned to Earth's frequencies. You're clear here. Again, empty void space. You're clear here. You're filled with deep peace to be able to discern properly. And this is something that you embody that people, again, don't understand right away, but they, over time, by witnessing you, slowly open up to it in some capacity. But some people feel like they can't keep up with you. Even if you're in a time where you're moving slow, like they don't understand how you're able to. People get stuck in their own mentality, but over time break it down and make sense of it in their own ways, if that makes sense. I think this must be something that you've learned, over time and maybe throughout your whole life, to be able to have this balance where you connect with people in love and keep your heart open, but in order to maintain that, you have to have certain amounts of time alone to charge and rejuvenate your own energy and not take anyone else's anything personally, because it's not personal. It's not about you at all. And you know this intuitively. You understand that other people's stuff is for them to work out. So you allow for space to exist between without fear. You stay in that energy of love, and that does hold a strong example. Whether people understand it immediately or not, it shows people a different way of living. You're very uplifting in the way that you arrive in people's lives, the way that you share your energy when you do. You're very generous and uplifting. You're not someone who stop, like you just keep going forward. You're always progressing. You're always leveling up. You're always glowing up more and more and more. You don't stop. But at the same time, you move at your own pace. You're not going to go at anyone else's pace. You move at your own pace. And while it may feel slow to you or look slow to others, at times you also progress quickly. You progress quickly. You're very prolific. And it's because you maintain your own pace. It's like you're moving with divine wisdom. You're moving in divine flow. If you need to rest, you'll rest. If you want to go out and have some fun, you will. But it might look different than other people's. And if you feel an urge to hyper focus and work for hours at a time, you will. You move with the flow of inspiration. And this is something that people are learning about you. and learning from you. It's to slow down. People learn from you a lot, I think. People feel like your existence is a good teacher for them. You might even resonate with being a teacher of some kind, or just sharing your wisdom with the people that you do connect with. And these could be, again, very simple but profound messages. Okay, something about account. Some people feel locked out of your energy. Let's figure this out. And then dangers standing out to me as well. You're very in charge of your energy. And some people have fears in facing you. You're very unusual, and that void space is uncomfortable for many who are unresolved within themselves, people who are constantly thinking and worry, or like have to be constantly distracted from themselves. They cannot sit with themselves. You make people feel uncomfortable in that way. They might find you feel dangerous to them because they're uncertain around your energy, but it's more that they haven't explored their own depths yet. You are unusual. You're very in charge of your own energy, so no one else is in charge of you. You move at your own rate. You march to the beat of your own drum. Let's see. I also get rumors too. There could be rumors about you that or certain individuals that have spread rumors about you that could have put you in some sort of danger. Like, I'm even getting life-threatening for some. Only take that if it resonates. It's not going to be for everyone, but there could be certain individuals who kind of put you in a dangerous position. Or there could have been someone who like hacked your accounts or something. Or created some sort of account. There's something there. And then right side body, it's giving. So you could have a jealous individual, which people are aware of, but people talk about this. People jealous of you, who try to apply pressure, and again, they could have either like created accounts, maybe stalking you, or emulating you, pretending to be you, or putting you in danger in some way, and also they could have been trying to paint you out of some sort of temptation, but you're Empress energy, this isn't devil energy. They could have been trying to paint you out as something dangerous, perhaps, to try to slow your roll, slow you down, but you won't stop. That's only going to be for some. But you embody like deep acceptance for yourself and acceptance for others. I do. Oh, you're talking to someone else. Okay. So we got empty reverse too. So again, you kind of possess and embody this deep void space, which might appear empty, but it's not emptiness. It's very full, very alive space. It's getting like an incubator. It's space that allows for anything to be possible. It's an infinite space. So like the 0 point field, this is why you're so prolific, and why when you slow down, you get hit with inspiration, and so you can be a space where you allow yourself to be nothing, and then you have everything to create, and you're very original in that, because that void space is not emptiness. And I think some people might feel you're empty at first, or misunderstand your quiet, your solace, your solitude. You not speaking much for you not having much to offer, but that's just not true. So I think once they do go deeper, they find out, especially certain things that you say might be so profound that they find you're a lot deeper than they expected. So it's that saying, like, still waters run deep. You have that stillness. It's your void space that you possess, that you've cultivated, is not empty. It is full of life. I think people start realizing that about you over time. There are still people out about you who are gossiping and trying to stop you or want you to stop whatever you're creating because they feel less than. And also, if there is anyone who created any sort of account or hacked your accounts or anything like that, you presenting as who you are in contrast to whatever this account danger situation is, makes for bad news bears for them. That's how that came through. We'll leave that there at that. Let's see how far we end this. Let's see. I'm just gonna pull probably a few more oracle messages and then we'll call this one. You're someone who has like a lot of confidence, but again, it's like a quiet confidence. You're not showy, you're not a showboat in any way. It's like you let people come to you. You probably are not one to take like the first move in any connection. You're slow, but in your okay in your own energy. Not just okay, you have a good relationship with yourself, so you are happy in your own energy. This is where you cultivate all of your fruitfulness and self-love. You are filled with endless self-love, and this you pour out into others. You inspire other people with that and inspire other people to love themselves more deeply and to move at their own pace, to embody themselves in full. Some people are a danger to you, though, to your energy, because certain energies that get frustrated are not willing to explore their own depths. These are the ones that are dangerous. People might think that because you're quiet or kind, warm, that they can take advantage of you in some way, but then I think over time they realize they cannot. They cannot stop you. They cannot slow you down. You're not what they thought. And everything that they've been projecting has to stay with them, which is even more uncomfortable. And some people might really hate on you for that because you force them to sit with themselves and they're unwilling to do that. Whereas other people find that deeply inspiring and they take the time to grow through that and expand, and so it feels very, very good for them to connect with you. That's going to be the majority, but there are definitely people who are not willing to explore themselves or grow or take accountability for themselves. They project that onto you instead and refuse to grow within themselves. They might even become a bit of a danger, whether to you if you even allow them around or try to, or they become a danger to themselves or others around them. And these people are in deep pain. I think this is something that you would understand and have compassion for, but it's why you would keep your space from certain people, and why you know that most people really benefit from being around you in small doses so that they have the time and energy to work that out, and if they're unwilling, then they don't get to continue connecting with you. So I feel you are someone who, if you want a personal reading, you can email me. These are just collective general messages though. You are someone who is of service to reality in this way, and whether you're trying to be or not, it's just you live with a very generous heart. You have a heart of gold, and you have to stay true to your own path in order to be of service in the way that you need to be for yourself. I feel like you are someone who has made a lot of sacrifices in life to get to this space, to have cultivated that level of deep peace within yourself. You've had to sacrifice your own ego many times, which is why you've leveled up into this Empress energy where you're very generous and your energy, very nurturing, very kind, but also and very abundant. But like You're also very receptive, you know? Very receptive, very selfless. But there's a balance to you. So where you're selfish is where you know you need to go within, take your time and space for yourself to nurture yourself. But it's not selfish in a way that's like egoic. It's filling your own cup so that you can be as generous as you need to be of service for the greater good. So you know where to make sacrifices, and sometimes that is sacrificing certain connections, and sometimes it's sacrificing your own ego, but you intuit that, you understand when there's something arising in you need to work on to keep elevating, and you understand when that is something arising within someone else, and you just simply need to create space so that that does not become a danger to you or that person, to keep connecting with them. And that's a very important thing. I feel, yeah, that balance is the very reason why you stay as abundant and prolific as you are. But it does rub some people the wrong way. It does rub some people the wrong way. But it is the only way that you can keep growing, the only way that you can keep your cup so full and overflowing to be the kind, peaceful, loving person that you are to others, and to keep, I feel like there's something that you create that is very fruitful. And it is important to you as much as it's important to other people. I feel like people want to see more of it though. People want to experience more of you, but you're also unwilling to give more of yourself than you're willing to give, which is important, so that you can be as expansive and infinite as you need to be, and people are not like depleting you of your energy. You have a very potent, powerful energy as well. You can be someone who has like some sort of platform with the world energy. You have a strong presence, strong connection with the world. You might travel or just like culture and understanding worldly things. Or you could be quite worldly or otherworldly. So this is the world cosmos. Be quite otherworldly, and how mysterious you are. You have a very, like, I'm getting resonant, potent, impactful, and powerful energy to you with this muse of inspiration as the King of Wands. You've mastered your creative energy, your ability to follow divine inspiration. But you also have this strong, like, hermity energy, but it allows you to constantly reach your milestones and make your own dreams like your actual reality. You're living in your dreams as your reality. But this doesn't come without a lot of pain. So you have all the depth that you do because you overcame so much already. This is something that people might feel in you, like you still have this pain, but this is a pain that drives you. When you use that, you transmute the energy to free yourself more and more, to keep surrendering the ego, whereas other people might meet that, not understand it, not understand that they too can do that, can use that as fuel to liberate themselves, rather than stay attached to whatever that feeling is, thinking that because your presence is the one that's bringing it up in them, that it's your fault, right? People do get stuck there. Some people, certain individuals get stuck there, but you're aware of this. You are aware of this. This is something that kind of follows you, though, because of the potency of your energy, which is why the necessity for the space, why the necessity for your hermitude in times where you need to go into solitude, right? But you're very independent on your own and able to accomplish a lot, but that doesn't mean that you're always alone either. You'll probably have a more like tight-knit inner circle where you only allow for genuine interaction and genuine connections, and if it's draining you, you will pull away, because you're not going to let other people's egos or limitations limit you. You stay in a very limitless internal void space, that deep peace where anything can happen. If you want a personal reading, you can email me. I would love to do one for you, and I work off sliding scale, so I'll meet you where you at. I don't do personal readings for free though. I just do the collective general messages for free, and we like to keep them clean here. That being said, this one is over, so we're gonna call it here. Catch you guys later.